Today with this cute little mic. I also did do a little astrology video with this mic as well. So I checked out the quality of the sound and honestly it sounds really great. So also just let me know if this sounds really great with this little microphone. I kind of try to add the microphone to stop picking up all of like the background noise of my job and everything like that. But okay, guys, you already know what it is. I think I'm gonna put this like right here so I don't have to be holding it the whole time because I'm gonna be reading. But yeah, guys, you already know what it is. You already know. Oh, well, if you don't know, now you know. This is your girl, Animated Angel, back at it with another Hot Girl Reads. We are reading the 48 Laws of Power by Mr. Robert Greene himself. Everybody go and give this man a big fat kiss when you see him, or just purchase his book, his many books. And yeah, he's still alive. So go support a living human being if you guys want some of this good knowledge that this guy is dropping. He's very educated. He likes to teach about a lot of different things. But yeah, we are reading the 48 Laws of Power by Mr. Robert Greene. We are at Law 39, guys. We are almost done with this freaking book. Plenty of books to come, plenty of stuff to read, plenty of time to get to know each other. Okay, guys? So, we are at Law 39. Stir up waters to catch fish. Judgment. Anger and emotion are strategically counterproductive. You must always stay calm and objective. I don't want to hold. I don't want to hold the microphone. Okay. I just wish it was like on. Oh, I should just put it on this. Okay. Anger and emotion are strategically counterproductive. You must always stay calm and objective. If you can make your enemies angry while staying calm yourself, you gain a decided advantage. Put your enemies off balance. Find the chink in their vanity through which you can rattle them, and you hold the strings. So let's get into it. Hold on, let me put a little sticky. I wonder if you guys can hear me still. Transgression of the law. In January of 1809, an agitated and anxious Napoleon hurried back to Paris from his Spanish wars. His spies and confidants had confirmed a rumor that his foreign minister, Talleyrand, had conspired against him with Fouché. The minister, hi, Yadig. Oh, is it Yadig? Yadig 7119. Hey, welcome to the live. Fouché, the Minister of Police. Immediately on arriving in the capital, shocked Emperor summoned his ministers to the palace. Hey, Ruby, or sorry, Rubal. Is it Rubal? Hey, Rubal. Welcome to the live. Can you guys hear me with the microphone? Please let me know. Please let me know. Because I'll just remove it if you can't. Okay. Barry. Does that mean like barely? Hi, Giovanni. Okay. Hey, Gemma. Thank you so much. Okay. Thanks for letting me go. Skitty. Where are you from? I'm from the US. Where are you from? Good. I'm hoping you guys can't hear the background noise. Do you hear just me or you hear the background noise too? Hey, Giovanni. Hey, Gemma. Much love. Where you guys from? Where you guys from? Let me know. Let me know. Okay, guys. So, just you. Okay, perfect, perfect. That's how we want it. I think I need something like a something to hold this, like so I could look a little bit like a news. India. Oh my god, I want to go to India so bad. My family, like probably lines down is from India. Oh my god, I want to go to India so bad. Okay, guys. So back to what we we're reading. Following them into the meeting right after their arrival, he began pacing That's funny. He began pacing up and down and started rambling vaguely about plotters working against him, speculators bringing down the stock market, legislators delaying his policies, and his own ministers undermining him. Sounds like someone we know. Not gonna get into it. U.S. Giovanni, what state? Hello, brother. Hello, sister. Okay. Hey, Satet. Welcome to the live. As Napoleon talked, Talleyrand leaned on the mantelpiece, looking completely indifferent. Facing Talleyrand directly, Napoleon announced, "For these ministers, treason has begun when they permit themselves to doubt." Oh, thank you, Gemma. Oh wait, let's all for Gemma. Good New York City. Ah, right. Oh, you're so pretty. No, no, no. Oh, puppy. Puppy. Stop. You're so sweet. Oh, you guys, come on. Oh my god, there was this little girl that used to be at my work, and we had a little handshake, and then at the end we would look at each other, and this is how we would go. Love it. Thanks, guys. You're the best. Okay, so back to what we were talking about. Oh, thanks, guys. I love it. Okay, so as Napoleon talked, Talleyrand leaned on the mantelpiece, looking completely indifferent. Facing Talleyrand directly, Napoleon announced, "For these ministers, treason has begun when they permit themselves to doubt." As the word treason, the ruler expected his minister to be afraid, but Talleyrand only smiled, calm and bored. "Giovanni, oh my God, welcome back. I'll put you to sleep. I'll read you a little bedtime story, so just close your eyes and listen." Napoleon. Okay, sorry. The sight of a subordinate apparently serene in the face of charges that could get him hanged pushed Napoleon to the edge. There were ministers who stared back at him unfazed. Finally, Napoleon exploded. "You are a coward," he screamed in Talleyrand's face. "A man of no faith. Nothing is sacred to you. You would sell your own father. I have showered you with riches, and yet there is nothing you would not do to hurt me." The other ministers looked at each other in disbelief. They have never seen this fearless general, the conqueror of most of Europe, so unhinged. Oh, well, good morning, Giovanni. Good morning, I guess. What time is it for you? "You deserve to be broken like glass," Napoleon continued, stamping. "I have the power to do it, but I have too much contempt for you to bother. Why didn't I have you hanged from the gates of the Tuileries? But there is still time for that." Yelling, almost out of breath, "Thanks, Giovanni." Almost out of breath. Sorry, guys. His face is red, his eyes are bulging. He went on, "You, by the way, are nothing but shit in a silk stocking." Oh my God. Sorry. Where am I at? Where am I at? "What about your wife? You never told me that San Carlos was your wife's lover." "Indeed, sire, it did not occur to me that this information had any bearings on your Majesty's glory or my own," said Talleyrand calmly. Talleyrand slowly crossed the room, moving with his characteristic limp. As an attendant helped him with his cloak, he turned to his fellow ministers, all afraid they would never see him again, and said, "What a pity, gentlemen, that so great a man should have such bad manners." Dun dun dun. Oh, Giovanni, we're in the same time code. Oh, thanks, RuPaul. Thank you, Ribal. See you next time. Oh, wait. Okay. Bye. Okay. Despite his anger, Napoleon. Thank you, Ripple. Thank you for the love. See you next time. Despite his anger, Napoleon did not arrest his foreign minister. He merely relieved him of his duties and banished him from the court, believing that for this man humiliation would be a punishment enough. He did not realize that word had quickly spread of this tirade, and how the emperor had completely lost control of himself, and how Talleyrand had essentially humiliated him by maintaining his composure and dignity. A page that had been turned. For the first time, people had seen the great emperor lose his cool under fire. A feeling spread that he was on the way down. As Talleyrand later said, this is the beginning of the end. 3 a.m.? Holy cow. What are you doing awake right now? Oh my god. And is it cold right now in India? Or like, are you guys considered like the southern hemisphere? So is it like springtime right now? Okay, guys. So now that I just read that little story and that little blurb to you, let's go ahead and interpret what the freak I just read. So, this was indeed the beginning of the end. Waterloo was still 6 years ahead, but Napoleon was on a slow descent to defeat, crystallizing in 1812 with his disastrous invasion of Russia. Talleyrand was the first to see the signs of his decline. Oh my god, really? Stop it. Stop. Oops. Let me focus. Okay, sorry. Talleyrand was the first to see the signs of his decline, especially in the irrational war with Spain. Sometime in 1808, the minister decided that for the future peace of Europe, Napoleon had to go. You want to say hi to my live? You're live? Yeah. Are you on Instagram Live? No, I'm on YouTube Live. Just say hi. Oh. Hello, people. Come get a car with Anna Vey. She will take care of you. This is reading. Do not get a car with Anna Vey. Study your books. Or you could get a car. Oh, wait, someone said hi. Giovanni said hi. Say hey to say hey to Giovanni. Hello, Giovanni. How are you doing? Doing well, thank you. This is my coworker, guys. Yeah, he's so funny. Okay, back to what we were talking about. Sometime in 1808, the minister decided that for the future peace of Europe, Napoleon had to go. And so he conspired with Fouché. It is possible that the conspiracy was never anything more than a ploy, a device to push. Aw, Ruba, thank you. I was thinking of like maybe doing like one of my customers. He was saying that I should do like voice acting or something like that, but I have no idea how to even get into it. Really and truly, I do want to like become a narrator for a book, so I'm just waiting on the right person to find my lives of me reading, and then be like, please, can you narrate my book? And I'll be like, yes, of course I can. Okay, sorry. It is possible that the conspiracy was never anything more than a ploy, a device to push Napoleon over the edge. For it is hard to believe that two of the most practical men in history would only go halfway in their plotting. They may have been only stirring the waters, trying to goad Napoleon into a misstep. And indeed, what they got was a tantrum that laid out his loss of control for all to see. In fact, Napoleon's soon famous blow up that afternoon had a profoundly negative effect on his public image. Could you see me reading like a book or narrating something in a play? Could you see that, Rupa? This is the problem with an angry response. At first, it may strike fear and terror, but only in some, and as the days pass and the storm clears, shouters could pass. Oh, wait. Others' responses emerge embarrassment and uneasiness about the shouter's capacity for going out of control, the resentment of what has been said, losing your temper. You always make unfair and exaggerated accusations. A few such tirades, and people are counting the days until you are gone. In the face of a conspiracy against him, a conspiracy between his two most important ministers, Napoleon certainly had a right to feel angry and anxious. But by responding so angrily and publicly, he only demonstrated his frustration. Oh my god, am I putting you to sleep, Giovanni? Is this one boring? Giovanni, you just woke up. Go drink some green tea. That should help. Green tea will give you some like energy and stuff. How long did you sleep for? Anyways, where was I? To show your frustration is to show that you have lost your power to shape events. It is the helpless action of a child who resorts to a hysterical fit to get his way. The powerful never reveal this kind of weakness. RuPaul, a lady never shares her age. Oh my god, I am a lady. I've like when I was younger, I would be like, oh, I'm this age. But after this past birthday, I kind of feel like, oh my god, I'm getting up there. So I can't really say how old I am anymore. But I just know I am at least legal enough to drink and they would see my ID. 10 hours? Giovanni, are you planning on staying up all night too? Or are you going to go to bed at night? How old are you, Ruba? How old are you? How old are you? Okay. There were a number of things Napoleon could have done in this situation. He could have thought about the fact that two eminently sensible men had had a reason to turn against him. It could I was going to ask her to be in my life, but now you stay up till 1. Yeah, tonight guys. It's my friend's last night out here, so we're about to go and party. Oh my god. And then we're supposed to go and party tomorrow night too. But I'm trying to be chill tonight because I like when you party and you stay up all night and then it just totally messes you up the next day. So I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to go to bed at a reasonable time so I can wake up and enjoy my Sunday because we're still supposed to be going out tomorrow. Okay. Excuse me, sorry. So there were a number of things that Napoleon could have done in this situation. He could have thought about the fact that two eminently sensible men had a reason to turn against him and could have listened and learned from them. He could have tried to win them back. He could have even gotten rid of them, making their imprisonment of or death an ominous display of his power. No tirades, no childish fits, no embarrassing after effects, just a quiet and definitive severing of ties. Remember, tantrums neither intimidate nor inspire loyalty. They only create doubts and uneasiness about your power. Exposing your weakness, these stormy eruptions often herald all fall. Okay, guys, now let's go ahead and read the first two little red blurbs that we have. This one is Itakuru Shigemun. Grind his own tea. The Kyoto Shoshidai Irakaru Suwu no Kami Shigumuni. Sorry, guys. Excuse my Japanese. Excuse my Japanese. Napoleon 60 war fight? Yeah, I think so. I think that's the right Napoleon. Oh, okay, sorry. Back to my Japanese. Was very fond of Sha Nu Yu, or the tea ceremony. and used to grind his own tea while sitting in the court as a judge. And the reason was this: he once asked a friend of his, who was his companion in Shonoyu, a tea merchant named Aiki, to tell him frankly what was the public opinion about him. "Well," said Ike, "they say that you get irritated with those who don't give their evidence very clearly and scold them. And so people are afraid to bring lawsuits before you, and if they do, the truth does not come out." Right? Six war laws. Oh wow, so he won 60 wars or 60 battles? That's so crazy. "Ah, I am glad you have told me that," replied Shigemuni, "for now that I consider it, I have fallen into the habit of speaking sharply to people in this way, and no doubt humble folk and those who are not ready in speech get flurried and are unable to put their case in the best light. I will see to it that this does not occur in the future." So after this, he had a tea mill placed before him in the court, and in front of it, the paper covered shoji were drawn to, and Shigemuni sat behind them and ground the tea, and thus kept his mind calm while he heard the cases. Okay? And he could easily see whether his composure was ruffled or not by looking at the tea, which would not fall evenly ground to the proper consistency if he got excited. And so justice was done impartially, and people went away from this court satisfied. By Sho Nu Yu, the Japanese tea ceremony. Have you guys ever been to Japan? That is on my bucket list. That is on my bucket list. That is on my bucket list. Okay, let's read the second one. "If possible, no animosity should be felt for anyone. To speak angrily to a person, to show your hatred by what you say or by the way you look, is an unnecessary proceeding, dangerous, foolish, ridiculous, and vulgar. Anger or hatred should never be shown otherwise than it in what you do, and feelings will be all the more effective in action, in so far as you avoid the exhibition of them in any other way. It is only the cold-blooded animals whose bite is poisonous." By Arthur Schopenhauer, 1788 to 1860. Oh, really, Giovanni? That's cool. So, observance of the law. By the late 1920s, Haile Selassie had nearly achieved his goal of assuming total control over Ethiopia, a country he felt needed strong and unified leadership. As regent to impress Zaduti, stepdaughter of the late queen and heir to the throne, Selassie had spent several what type of lisp is that? Several years, weakening the power of Ethiopia's various warlords. Now only one real obstacle stood in his way: the empress and her husband, Ras Gusa. Selassie knew the royal couple hated him and wanted to get rid of him. So, to cut short their plotting, he made Gugsa the governor of the northern province of Begemeter, forcing him to leave the capital where the empress lived. For several years, Gugsa played the loyal administrator, but Selassie did not trust him. He knew that Gugsa and the empress were plotting revenge. As time passed and Gugsa made no move, the chances of a plot only increased. Selassie knew what he had to do: draw Gugsa out, get under his skin, and push him into action before he was ready. Napoleon last word. Tell. Tell what? For several years, a northern tribe, the Azubu Galas, had been in virtual rebellion against the throne, robbing and pillaging local villages and refusing to pay taxes. Selassie had done nothing to stop them. letting them grow stronger. Finally, in 1929, he ordered Ras Gugsa to lead an army against the disobedient tribesmen. Gugsa agreed, but inwardly he seethed. He had no grudge against Azubagalis, and the demand that he fight them hurt his pride. He could not disobey the order, but as he worked to put together an army, he began to spread an ugly rumor that Selassie was in cahoots with the Pope and planned to convert the country to Roman Catholicism and make it a colony of Italy's. Gugsa army swelled, and some of the tribes from which its soldiers came secretly agreed to fight Selassie. In March of 1930, an enormous force of 35,000 men began to march, not on the Azubu Galas, but south towards the capital of Addis Ababa. Made confident by growing strength, Guksa now openly led a holy war to depose Selassie and put the country back in the hands of the true Christians. He did not see the trap that had been laid for him. Before Selassie had ordered Guksa to fight, the Azubugalas had secured the support of the Ethiopian church. And before the revolt got underway, he had bribed several of Gugsa's key allies not to show up for the battle. As the rebel army marched south, airplanes flew overhead, dropping leaflets announcing that the highest church officials had recognized Selassie as a true Christian leader of Ethiopia, and that they had excommunicated Gugsa for fomenting a civil war. These leaflets severely blunted an emotions behind the Holy Crusade, and as battle loomed and the support of Guksa's allies had promised him failed to show up, soldiers began to flee or defect. When the battle came, the rebel army quickly collapsed. Refusing to surrender, Rus Guksa was killed in the fighting. The empress, distraught over her husband's death, died a few days later. On April 30, Selassie is issued a formal proclamation announcing his new title, Emperor of Ethiopia. Um, Napoleon last word, France, the army, the head of the army, Josephine. Wow. What happened to your toe, Gio? Okay, so let's go ahead and interpret what I just read to you guys. Haile Selassie always saw several moves ahead. He knew that if he let Ras Guksa decide the time and place of the revolt, the danger would be much greater than if he forced Guksa to act on Selassie's terms. So he goaded him into rebellion by offending his manly pride, excuse me guys, sorry, asking him to fight people he had no quarrel with on behalf of a man that he hated. Dang. Which toe? Thinking everything out ahead, Selassie made sure that Guksa's rebellion would come to nothing and that he could use it to draw away with his last two enemies. This is the essence of the law, okay? When the waters are still, your opponents have time and space to plot actions that will initiate and control. So stir the waters, force the fish to the surface, get them to act before they are ready, steal the initiative. The best way to do this is to play uncontrollable emotions: pride, vanity, love, hate. Once the water is stirred up, and the little fish cannot help but rise to the bait. The angrier they become, the less control they have. And finally, they are caught in a whirlpool you have made and they drown. A sovereign should never launch an army out of anger. A leader should never start a war out of wrath. By Sun Tzu, 4th century BC. I loved that quote. Okay, guys, that quote, period. Okay, so let's go ahead and read these. Sorry. Let's go ahead and read these next two little red blurbs, okay? The monkey and the wasp. A monkey, whilst munching a ripe pear, was pestered by the bare-faced importunities of a wasp, whose nolens volens would have a part. After threatening the monkey with his anger, if he further hesitated to submit to his demand, he settled on the fruit, but was as soon knocked off by the monkey. The irritable wasp now had recourse to invective, and after using the most insulting language, which the other calmly listened to, he so worked himself up so into violent passion that, losing all consideration of the penalty, he flew to the face of the monkey and stung him with such rage that he was unable to extricate his weapon and was compelled to tear himself away, leaving it in the wound, thus entailing on himself a lingering death, accompanied by pains much greater than those he had inflicted. Fables by Jonathan Birch, 1783 to 1847. Hi, Gemma. Oh, really? This is my first time reading it. Oh my God, Giovanni, you broke your toe? I wish I could see a picture, but I don't want to see a picture. Oh my God. Are you not crying right now? Your tomorrow live time tell sister. So I'm going to be posting a YouTube video on Monday, and then I should be going live again either Tuesday or Wednesday. So I try to go live twice a week, once on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then if I go to live on Tuesday, then I'll go live on Friday. But if I go live on Wednesday, then I'll go live again on Saturday. Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, so let's read the next little red blurb. Ditch High Priest. Kinyo, an officer of the second rank, had a brother called the High Priest Rokugagyu. Roku Ro Ryogaku? Ryogaku? Oh, thanks, Gio. Sorry, guys. Where am I? An extremely bad tempered man. Next to his monastery grew a large nettle tree, which occasioned the nickname people gave him, the Nettle Tree High Priest. That name is outrageous, said the high priest, and he cut down the tree. The stump still being left, people referred to him now as Stump High Priest. More furious than ever, Ryoga-ku had the stump dug up and thrown away, but left a big ditch. People now called him Ditch High Priest. And this was by the Essays in Idleness in Kenko, Japan during the 14th century. Gemma! Oh my god! Stop! You're so sweet! Gemma, don't wish to be anybody else. Just be you. Honestly, we're all just beautiful humans and beautiful souls, and it's so much better when we're together and we use what we have as like just to amplify what we have and embrace other people's differences. Literally, literally, literally. I feel like just singing with this microphone, you know what I'm saying? Okay, guys. So now that I have read both the transgression and the observance of these laws, I am going to go ahead and tell you the keys to power. So this is the juice. This is what we have all been waiting for. Okay? So angry people usually end up looking ridiculous, for their response seems out of proportion to what occasioned it. They may have taken things too seriously, exaggerating the hurt or the insult that has been done to them. They are so sensitive to slight that it becomes comical how much they take personally. More comical still is their belief that their outbursts signify power. The truth is the opposite. Petulance is not power, it is a sign of helplessness. People may temporarily be cowed by your tantrums, but in the end, they lose respect for you. They also realize they can easily undermine a person with so little self control. The answer, however, is not to repress our angry or emotional responses. For repression drains us of energy and pushes us into strange behavior. That's very true. Instead, we have to change our perspective. We have to realize that nothing in the social realm and in the game of power is personal. The answers, however, is oh, sorry, I just read that. Everyone is caught up in a chain of events that long predates the present moment. Our anger often stems from problems in our childhood, from problems of our parents, which stem from their own childhood, and on and on. Our anger also has roots in many interactions with others, the accumulated disappointments and heartaches that we have suffered. And an individual will often appear as the instigator of our anger, but it is much more complicated, goes far beyond what the individual did to us. If a person explodes with anger at you and it seems out of proportion to what you did to them, you must remind yourself that is not exclusively directed at you. Do not be so vain. You read Awaken the Giant Within next. Okay, let me go ahead and write that down to add that to the list of books to read. Awaken the Giant. Okay, sorry. This cause is much larger and goes way back in time. And involves dozens of prior hurts and is actually not worth the bother to understand. Instead of seeing it as a personal grudge, hey Giovanni, welcome back. Instead of seeing it as a personal grudge, look at the emotional outburst as a disguised power move, an attempt to control or punish you cloaked in the form of hurt feelings and anger. The shift of perspective will let you play the game of power with more clarity and energy. Instead of overreacting and becoming ensnared in people's emotions, you will turn their loss of control to your advantage. You keep your head while they are losing theirs. Oh, what type of videos? During an important sorry. We're almost done, guys. During an important battle in the War of the Three Kingdoms in the 3rd century AD, advisors to the commander Cao Cao discovered documents showing that certain of his generals had conspired with the enemy and urged him to arrest and execute them. Instead, he ordered the documents burned in a matter forgotten. At this critical moment in the battle, to get upset or demand justice would have reverberated against him. An angry action would have called attention to the general's disloyalty, which would have harmed the troops' morale. Justice could wait. He would deal with the generals in time. Xiao Xiao kept his head and made the right decision. Compare this to Napoleon's response to Talleyrand. Instead of taking the conspiracy personally, the emperor should have played the game like Cao Cao, carefully weighing the consequences of any action he took. The more powerful response in the end would have been to ignore Talleyrand or to bring the minister gradually back to his side and punish him later. Sure. The 10 greatest conquerors in the history of the world. Guess who's number one? Billionaires Australia magazine listed. Billionaires Australia magazine. Wait, who's number one? Is it Napoleon? Do you want to see my shirt? Yes, Giovanni's. Send it in the chat. Anger only cuts off our options. The powerful cannot thrive without options. Once you train yourself not to take matters personally and to control your emotional responses, you will have placed yourself in the position of tremendous power. Now you can play with the emotional responses of other people. Stir the insecure into action by impugning their manhood and dangling the prospect of an easy victory before their faces. Do as Houdini did when challenged with the less successful escape artist Clippini reveal the inapparent weakness. Houdini let Clippini steal the combination of the for a pair of cups. Number one is Hari Singh Nalwa. Where's he from? Sorry. Where was I? To lure your opponent into action. Then you can beat him with ease. With the arrogant, too, you can appear weaker than you are, taunting them into rash action. Sun Pen, commander of the armies of Shi, the loyal disciple of Sun Tzu, once led his troops against the armies of Wei, which outnumbered him to 2 to 1. Let us light 100,000 fires when our army enters. Yeah, I'll look it up. I'll look it up. When our army enters, we suggested Sun Pen, 50,000 on the next day and only 30,000 on the third. On the third day, when we general exclaimed, I knew the men of Shi were cowards, and after only 3 days, more than half of them have deserted. So, leaving behind his slowly moving head in heavy infantry, the general decided to seize the moment and move swiftly on the Shi camp with lightly armed force. Sun Pen's troops retreated, luring V's army into a narrow pass, where they were ambushed and destroyed. With the V general dead and his forces decimated, Sun Pen now easily defeated the rest of his army. A Sikh warrior. Oh, he's Indian? In the face of the hot-headed enemy, finally an excellent response is no response. Good night, Giovanni. See you next time. Bye. Follow the Talleyrand's tactic. Nothing is as infuriating as a man who keeps his cool while others are losing theirs. If it will work to your advantage to unsettle people, affect the aristocratic bored pose, neither mocking nor triumphant, but simply indifferent, this will light their fuse. Okay, good night, Giovanni. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Ah, yes, I figured. I have to do a little bit more research. I have like in my astrology segment, I don't know if you know about it, but I'm doing like the history of astrology, where did it come from? And I'm diving into all of the different astrologies. I definitely will, Rubal. I definitely will. Let me write this down. Hari Singh Nawi. Am I Nawa? Hey, am I saying it right? I don't think I am. Nalwa. Okay. In the face of a hot-headed enemy, finally an excellent response is no response. Follow the Talleyrand tactic. Nothing is as infuriating as a man who keeps his cool while others are losing theirs. If it will work to your advantage to unsettle people, affect the aristocratic bored pose, neither mocking nor triumphant but simply indifferent, this will light their fuse. When they embarrass themselves in a temper tantrum, you will have gained several victories, one of these being that in the face of their childishness, you have maintained your dignity and composure. No problem, Rubal. So, guys, close your eyes and imagine this unless you're driving or handling heavy machinery. The pond of fish. The waters are clear and calm, and the fish are well below the surface. Stir the waters and they emerge. Stir it some more and they get angry, rising to the surface, biting whatever comes near, including a freshly baited hook. Now, this is the authority, guys. If your opponent is of a hot temper, try to irritate him. If he is arrogant, try to encourage his egotism. One who is skilled at making the enemy move does so by creating a situation according to which the enemy will act. He entices the enemy with something he is certain to take. He keeps the enemy on the move by holding out the bait and then attacks him when with picked troops. By Sun Tzu, 4th century BC. Oh, that's cool, Giovanni. That's nice. Now, this is going to be the reversal to the law. If whatever I just said to you is not applicable to your situation, and you have to do the opposite of what I just said. Are you ready? When playing with people's emotions, you have to be very careful. Study the enemy beforehand. Some fish are best left at the bottom of the pond. The leaders of the city of Tyre, capital of ancient Phoenicia, felt confident that they could withstand Alexander the Great, who had conquered the Orient but had not attacked their city, which stood well protected on the water. They sent ambassadors to Alexander saying that although they would recognize him as the emperor, they would not allow him or his forces to enter Tyre. This, of course, enraged him, and he immediately mounted a siege. For 4 months, the city withstood him, and finally he decided the struggle was not worth it and that he would come to terms with the Tyrians. But they, feeling that they had already baited Alexander and gotten away with it, were confident that they could withstand him, refused to negotiate. In fact, they killed his messengers. This pushed Alexander over the edge. Now it did not matter to him how long the siege lasted or how large the army it needed. He had the resources and would do whatever it took. He remounted his assault so strenuously that he captured Tyre within days, burned it to the ground, and sold its people into slavery. You can bait the powerful and get them to commit and divide their forces as Sun Pin did. But test the waters first. Find the gap in their strength. And if there is no gap, if they are impossibly strong, you have nothing to gain and everything to lose by provoking them. Choose carefully. Hold on, guys, I'm almost done. Choose carefully whom you bait and never stir up the sharks. Finally, there are times when a well timed burst of anger can do you good, but your anger must be manufactured and under your control. Then you can determine exactly how and on whom it will fall. Never stir up reactions that will work against you in the long run. And use your thunderbolts rarely and make them more intimidating and meaningful. Whether purposely staged or not, if your outbursts come too often, they will lose their power. Okay, guys, so let me read some of these things. You're 8. What the heck? Why didn't you tell me this? Seek God, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, 42, Muslim by. Okay, wait, so 1.25 log Mughal death and fight. Dang, that's so crazy. Okay, see you later, Giovanni. See you next time. Have a good day. Peace and love. Oh, wait, let me do my thing. Okay, guys, so let me just chat for a little bit. Obviously, let's talk a little bit about what I just read for the past 48 minutes. Um, it's talking about controlling your emotions, really. Controlling when you get upset. At the end of the day, people are always going to try to find ways to make you upset, try to find something to test your waters. And it's really easy to lose control. And then once you have one of those like emotional outbursts and you're upset about something and you act erratically, in hindsight, you look back and you're like, oh my God, why did I even act that way? Thanks, Ruba. You're so nice. Stop. But don't stop. But yeah, it's so easy to get upset about things, and it's so easy to like lose control and just go on an emotional tirade. But when you act that way, you lose the respect of everybody around you because everybody's going to be looking at you like, oh my God, it's not that deep. I'll give you guys a little example. I don't even know if I should be saying it, but today at work, like my all of the management isn't here today, and typically like at least one manager is here on a Saturday, and so none of my managers are here, and so it's been a little bit chaotic. And one of so I was supposed to be getting the English walk-ins first because I speak English, and also I was in first place this week, so I was supposed to be getting all the English customers first. And there's this guy who's had many problems with a lot of people at my job. I'm not even gonna get too much into it. But long story short, he went and stole the first customer. And then it was like this big thing between, I wasn't involved though, between other people. And then, like, they started texting in the work group chat, and the guy that stole the customer, he went on this long paragraph in the group chat, putting out the other guy's business in the group chat. And it's just very unprofessional. Very, very unprofessional. And this isn't even the first time that he's gone on these like emotional, upset rants. He's like acting this way. Ooh, Punjabi. Interesting. I want to learn. I'm learning Spanish right now. Like, my Spanish is okay. Mm, Sorry, guys. Or how do I say that in Spanish? Lo siento. Lo siento. You know what that means? You know what that means? But yeah, guys. So now everybody is losing respect for this guy. Nobody really wants to work with him because, ¿Cómo estás? Super bien. ¿Y tú? But yeah, and it's just because he constantly has emotional outbreaks. He's always going crazy on somebody. And then it's like nobody wants to work with you because you're just going to go ahead and go off on them soon. So, like, honestly, if you really want to ruin your reputation, don't control your emotions. But from the wise words of my father, I love that guy. From the wise words of my father, he's always said, you control your emotions do not control you. And honestly, sometimes when you have such a buildup of emotions and you go crazy because this person did this, and you just building up and building up and building up, and you just put everything underneath the rug, and then you go and you act crazy and you start being strange and you start being shady, you have to find a way to release that anger. And one of those ways is to communicate effectively to people and tell them when they're wrong right then and there, and not hold things in, you know what I'm saying? And then another thing is, like, obviously we're all people and we're all humans, but you cannot flip out every single time things don't go your way. Especially if you're an adult, you really can't, because it's super childish and nobody's going to want to do business with you. So, those are just some of my thoughts on this chapter. If you guys have anything you want to add to the conversation, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I go on live every like 2 times a week, and then I also do post a video every Monday, and I also am trying to post more shorts throughout the week. I have some astrology content coming for you guys soon, so thank you so much for watching, and love you. Mwah. Wait, should I do this? Just kidding. You got to take me to dinner first. Bye.